Alrighty, hello everybody, this is the All-Arounder, and welcome back to part 3 of a normal but not normal Hearts of Iron playthrough. Returning back to the German Empire, and the last video didn't have sound, excuse me, and the reason why, and I completely forgot about this, I had my headphones in at the time. Now, I thought it would transfer the sound from the headphones into it, like a different user face, but obviously that didn't work. But nevertheless, I don't like doing multiple takes because I feel like I won't get the same core reaction, so it's more or less, it is what it is. I don't know how to edit or do anything like that, and it's just one of those things. I'm just going to go ahead and do what I want to do. So, doing what I want to do, I'm going to take a quick preview back over here. Of course, the Qing Empire is involved in a war with the Shanqing, whatever the hell that is. I can't say that last word. The situation in Indochina deteriorates. Official reports, Far East colony claim significant success in suppressing the insurgency. According to military intelligence, the situation in Indochina is actually deteriorating. I can see that, actually, because they've got 4 divisions in... Jesus! They're gonna lose this. They're gonna lose this. Pacifying the Viet Cong rebels seemed to have been more than the Admiralty could handle. Some major cities and strategic positions have fallen to the rebel hands. I can't. I mean, there's no point. They've already got half of Indochina, so there's literally no point. I mean, that kind of blows. And of course, the Kingdom of Siam is winning, which... checking their thing. But I cannot really see. Maybe we'll get lucky and they just stay authoritarian democratic. Go ahead and try to get one of those land doctrines. Kind of interested to see what happens here in the Russia and the Soviet Union. They're not at war. Wait, what? Red Guard militias. Ooh. Oh, that recruitable population though. Jesus. And they got relatively densely populous areas. Jeez. Ah, there we go. That was a bit too spoken soon. Well, hopefully the White Army has had enough time to reorganize and... yeah, okay, the Soviets are gonna lose. Ooh, they went liberal. Well, we have a similar ideology, and I plan on staying authoritarian democratic. I have a fair amount of manpower. Why not? Get them full support, maybe they'll like us. Maybe can secure certain holdings. They expand more to the east rather than in more of Europe. The Don-Cuban Union, I really don't mind. Like, anything past main Europe, this, like my puppets right here, anything past these, like, this area, that becomes a problem, but it's more or less what's need to be prioritized. And right now, it's the syndicalist threat for the Commune of France, the Union of Britain, and the Socialist Republic of Italy. And I've already organized my troops to the best of my ability. Economy's still complete garbage. With the investation program, hopefully this will work. And it's kind of cool. When you look into these, it's actually pretty cool. Like, for instance, we're just going to probably read these off as they go. So, for the investation program, the next part of the Schlock plan would be a massive program aiming to encourage private investment. both in Mittelstand businesses as well as consumer products. While this will be hard to achieve, it should enable producers to find a market for their products again, which will hopefully help to restart the economy. Which seems like a legitimate investment thing. Oh boy. Yep, this happens in last several games I've played. This has happened. Should get an event popping up. Yeah, Middle Africa just fucking imploded. That's beautiful. Should get an event that literally says the fall of Middle Africa or something like that. And excuse me. And with this new update as well, they gave a couple of the territories here trees. Of course, we will help them. I'm actually going to see if I can send... Yes, I can. How many? One. One is good enough. Going to send...
Two.
Let me send this. This guy. And we're going to get... There we go. We're going to get Paulus, because Paulus needs a nice expedition to a different front. You know? In an alternate reality, he suffered through the winter. Now he's going to suffer through the heat. Well, probably not suffer, because I'll make sure that they win, because it's... should be relatively stable, but it just depends on how well this goes over. But yeah, going back, the update for 0.6 in Kaiserreich, Südwest Afrika has a focus tree which is like the reclamation tree. In the sense, this is a predominantly German-controlled area, and so you get a claim and a new Statthalter to try to reform Middle Africa. Now, I have honestly never gone down this path because I only just found out, actually, like, what, 2-3 days ago, about how Middle Africa implodes. And it's kind of weird, because you figure the AI tries to do stuff to help itself. Don't quote me, but tries. Apparently, Middle Africa collapses when it reaches minus 1,000 political power. Now, that is a considerable amount. Minus 1,000 political power. They're being insulted. Yeah, they're being insulted up here. I want to rush through and get their capital. There's like nobody in their capital. If that falls, they fall. Really?
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Come on. They've got troops stationed in all these territories. I mean, it should be relatively... What's going on here? They have 7 to 12 divisions. Should be too bad.
Bereit.
Nope, never mind. They took it. Should be peace deal. Am I true? Okay. I'm gonna look at this as a advisory. He was there for what? Maybe a week? And
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
yeah. So hopefully this goes relatively well. Now it's just a land grab. The capital was the biggest thing. Now it's just a land grab. We go ahead and look at the war. Where it disappeared to. Here we go. The Mimland Südwest African War. Yeah, see, they're 80%. Okay, so yeah, it's just a territory grab at this point. Go ahead and try to get that. They got people moving? Yeah, they do. Okay, cool. Hans von Sieg dies. Chief of the General Staff died today in Berlin. Hero of the intervention in China passed away peacefully in his sleep. The nation is mourning the loss of a true German hero. All important dignitaries were in attendance at the funeral in Berlin. Afterwards, the chief of the army, August von Mackensen, could be seen whispering something to the Kaiser. Interesting to see what happens, but I don't know actually what happens. But I can assume you can now reform the military high command. It says remove Hans von Sieg and August von Mackensen. So I'm going to assume he just vied for retirement. I mean, he is pretty old. I would check, but I just kind of lost him. Oops. If it starts going bad, then I'll use my commander ability, but I don't want to do that just for the fact that I don't want to lose more equipment than I must necessarily need. Despite now should be producing stuff because of the infestation program, but nevertheless, it's just one. I just don't want to deal with the extra headache. Yeah, I'm producing stuff, but yeah. Oh, and something I found out. You can't get this. Well, hold on. First, this is probably for the very beginning. You cannot get this to your main fleet. So I just usually delete it. It's extra manpower. And second, I looked at the most recent progress reports, which is pretty cool. The next update is focusing all on the Americas again. Kind of like how I think it was, point 4? Focused mostly on, I think, North America and a little bit on, like, a template per se for South America and Central America. But now it's like a full rework. And one of the things is, I believe, the Dominican Republic actually gets a focus tree. And one thing is they balkanized the Central America. And so hopefully it will prove some very interesting wars. Because, I mean, I think it's better to balkanize an area rather than to integrate it. Because if you balkanize it, like for instance, we're going to take Africa for an example. Balkanizing Africa like this because of a freak accident of mismanagement is really cool because it instigates conflict and it also instigates the vying of power. So people will be kind of forced into conflict and forced into doing specific focuses to hopefully achieve their ultimate goal of the region they want. And now we have the speech to Poland. Yesterday in the early afternoon, Zentrum politician Heinrich von Brentano, Yeah, Brentano. I'm going to call him Brentano. Gave an impassioned speech how the differences of the past must be laid aside to create a stronger European economic bloc. Included every nations with which we have our differences. While not mentioned explicit by name, it was obvious the most that he spoke of reconciling with our smaller neighbor Poland. Relationship with Poland's been icy since the World War, or the Weltkrieg, depending on what you want to go by. Same thing, but I like saying Weltkrieg, but it is what it is. And Polish nationalism is a keen thorn in the Kaiser's side. Over the past 2 decades, perhaps it's time to set aside the old animosity for the sake of the future. Nice little boost to political power, which gives me above, so hopefully I get that soon. And we're going to go ahead and do this because I just want to get through that and go back to full standard. Sorry, I'm moving things around a lot. But after that, I'm going to go down my political tree, and then depending on how events unfold, that may change. And yes, we're going to help them, plus political power, minus a little bit of this and that, but it's not a big deal. Political power is nice, because if I get 100, I can go ahead and start increasing my stability.
Greift weiter an!
How are you doing, Paulus? 5% infantry leader. Could be worse, could be better. I wanted to attack. Zanzibar and Tanganyika. Yeah, they're just going to continually assault until they run out of stuff. Zanzibar was here. But yeah, Tanganyika is one of the places in which you can fall back to, but it does not have a focus tree. I'm sure it will in the future. But the places that do have focus trees, of course, is West Africa. Um, I'm going to attempt to pronounce this, quote unquote, attempt. Ganza? Correct? Never mind. This little purple nation right here. Maybe maroon. I don't know. I'm not good on specific. Oh! Okay. That finally happened. What is it? 13th of February, 37. What did they do? Who's... Oh. So they went with Garner. Really? Interesting. Okay. So that's going to unfold, figure out who might win, who will lose. Hopefully it's the American Union state, despite them being a paternal autocracy. I mean, unless Carter takes over, I don't really see what's going to honestly unfold. But yeah, this nation has a focus tree, which is pretty much, they can either go back to Portugal and have Portuguese influence in their nation and their development. Yes, because when the Civil War ends, I get a boost, so hopefully it'll end relatively soon. And they also have German connections, so it's more or less, they could do both, I believe, but it's one of those things, it just depends on what's going on at the time. And then, I believe, yeah, Gabon has a small focus tree to at least give it a little more flavor in part of Africa. Gabon has the choice of going conservative or going syndicalist. Then there is the Kingdom of Dahomey. I'm hopefully pronouncing that right. And this is pretty much like the same thing with Gabon. It's just like a small flavor tree. No one cares, Bulgaria. Are you being mean? But yeah, they can either kind of, yeah, pretty much it's just exile the Germans and go back to their old French colonial power, which of course is their neighbor in this instance. So we'll see what happens. And of course, I mean, you've got Liberia, but it is what it is. It's just, hopefully this has more flavor into it. I'm not saying necessarily every nation should have one, but I feel Tanganyika should have had maybe a focus trait, something small for reclamation, but it is what it is. I mean, I think it's still cool nevertheless. I mean, for Germany,
Angetreten.
Germany has like one of many fleshed out focus trees. Going with the big death fleet. I love these songs that they have. Okay, so we have the 1937 elections. And like I said, I would stay authoritarian democracy, mostly to get that political, not that political power boost, because that goes at 65, or 60%. But it's pretty darn close. Plus I get the political power boost. But yeah, pretty much, you have three choices. You can go Social Democrat, which is like the piss poor communists, but are more towards some mostly democratic ideals, flavored with syndicalism. You have, of course, liberalism, market liberalism, to be specific. And then you have just stick with the old, which, I mean, when you think when you think about it, I think it's better just to do this, just because you may not get a lot of change in cabinet and stuff, but I feel that most of the people underneath authoritarian democracy is better. So political power and plus 10%. So go ahead and send in the army. going to keep this guy because changing these people it might ruin this growth that we have. Oh, this is also another thing. If you elect Kurt von Schleicher, I think that's how you say his name. You have the choice now, or you have a choice where you can institute a paternal autocracy, which then you can bond yourself extremely well to the authoritarian or the American Union state. But for me, I don't do that just because I find it a hindrance even before 0.6. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Plus, before 0.6, when they didn't have the stability and stuff, I thought it was better to have the cabinet ministers that I was already able to get due to political power influence. Go ahead and finish Black Monday, and hopefully things will go well. Completely lost track of time. Going to check something real quick. Oh, we're at 21 minutes. Okay, I'm going to pause this and stop it. Okay, bye.